What's up, everybody? This is Priceless Mile here, and today I'm going to be going over the Western Influences series and basically giving a rundown of some statistics or key information. It's currently 1741, and I feel like this is a good point to give a general overview just before the end of the series and give people a really good idea of who does look like they're most likely going to win this. We've seen over the past videos that Jake and AD look probably the two favourites, and obviously we have a presence here in India as well as Europe, which are sporting the North American tech. Some are westernized, particularly those who do border the Kuna Near East, which I'm quite happy about, actually, if I'm honest, because one of the things I wanted to do in the series was have these strong Western powers colonize and try to take over India and establish that as a base themselves. And I personally would have thought that whoever did that most successfully does deserve to win, or at least be quite high up on that list. And we could also give the Indian nations, sort of like when they do in racing, they have different like, what do you call it, different sections almost. So we could have like the Western or the Western group and the Indian group. So for example, there could be a winner of the Indian group, which currently looks like Lydia and Hannah are probably the strongest there, but I'm not going to make you decide. You can decide for yourself who you think is doing the best. And obviously I'm just going to give an overview of the world here. You've seen Europe, you've seen India and sort of the Middle East, which seems to be dominated by Kelly, Connor, Lemmy and Aaron over here. Mickey getting a presence sort of in Caucasia and stuff like that. But this is pretty big because we see that Kelly has colonized a lot of China. Not the whole of China, because it's like there-ish, but the good development provinces, as well as a good variation here in Indonesia, and Japan and sort of Manchuria being shared between Kelly and Connor. If we go over to the New World, here's Australia, by the way, colonized by Aaron. If we go to the New World, we sort of see, in some ways, historical, not historical obviously, but how sort of South America is really divided between AD and Lemmy over here. Not historically as Brazil and Spain shared it, but still it's quite nice to see a large colonizer of South America, which is going to give AD a lot of power to his already good sprawling empire over here in Iberia and sort of North West Africa. And over here we have kind of deserted Guatemala region, sort of Central America, with Mexico shared between Connor and Josh, as well as Josh establishing sort of a base over here in the Panama sort of region. Connor really getting the most out of the Caribbean here, but AD does have these provinces that aren't actually a part of colonial regions. They are there, but they're not here, which could be very important because they have full control over this, whereas Connor doesn't. And then we have the sort of the 13 colonies region established here by Aaron, which is kind of England, kind of not England, and Fraser colonizing Florida, Louisiana. I mean, we have Connor. Did I say Connor for that? I hope I didn't. I did mean Fraser if I did say Connor, but we do have these small sort of colonies over here. Oh, zoomed in. Look how many units there are. Lemmy up here and down there, Connor as well, and Fraser, a bit in France as well. And then we have huge colonies over here by Luke, which may look really good, but it's probably not. I mean, this is. We'll look at the development here, which I believe is here. You see that this is. I mean, it's actually quite decently developed for the region it is, but we see a lot, very rich in comparison to the rest of the New World. Over here, I'll give a view of who owns that. Good East Coast here, as well as, you know, South America's not that bad. There are a lot of low development provinces, but you know, Brazil's looking pretty good, as well as sort of sections of Peru and sort of the northern Andes. Good high development there. While we're there, we might as well check the development in Europe to see how, you know, because this matters a lot. Like, Lemmy may be small, but they do have very good development provinces. So Jack, for example, over in sort of South Germany, sort of Austria region, and sort of northern Italy, as well as Jake actually, which kind of surprises me because he's so big, a lot of people would vote for him. But it's sort of, this region is sort of pretty barren, pretty rubbish, but it is actually, you know, pretty well developed. And might as well look at the religion. Everybody's choosing to stay Catholic, which I want to fix that, because I want there to be sort of some Protestant, some Reformed over there, as well as India's just a huge mess of different religions. I sort of did that just to see what it would be like with all the different religions over there. And might as well look at the dynasty list. So we have Jones covering probably 3 of the top 5 nations in India, which I don't think any of those are under personal union. I'm just going to check. Nope. Because I believe Kelly is under a personal union with Jack, which is absolutely massive. Because obviously I doubt it will last, considering this is pretty big, this is pretty big. But for now, who knows, maybe Jack can destroy the rest of Mickey, maybe attack more central Western Europe over here with the help of Kelly. Maybe they'll break free, but maybe this territory could be worth a lot more. Now, bloody, there we go. Gonna check the ledger here just to see development list, and this is absolutely massive. These two carrying the highest development by a bloody big margin, considering that you could technically add those together to create the Kelly-Jack Commonwealth, sort of a bit like the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. In third we have 80, good, strong. Personally, that's who I would think is probably the strongest nation in the world right now, on its own. Not obviously, because this is probably stronger, the join union. If we look at score, 80's winning in that, but Kelly's getting more per month, which, you know, maybe he could overtake, maybe he's going to be the winner at the end. But currently the game rates 80 as the current winner. Obviously the game doesn't dictate your choices. And army size as well, 80 wins on that. Jake coming in at second, and that's kind of, it's not that surprising. It's surprising to see Jack solo down, but I'm going to assume that's probably due to war. If we check, he's probably, yeah, he's got a truce with a lot of nations, so obviously he's going to be very weakened by that. Could look at navies as well, because let's see if we click the right one. Surprisingly, it's Aaron in the lead. Not the highest force limit. Kelly and 80 has the better, but Aaron's going the naval route. That's the way he's going to dominate the world, and historically it pretty much worked. You know, those who have command of the sea have command of everything, and you can see that they have got very good naval bases across the world. This probably contributing to a lot of it. And that's basically all I wanted to go through. There's nothing else that's too special. I think I could check economy. Actually, if we look at the biggest economy, it's Kelly, AD, Jack bring up the top three. You can pause and look to see more. Go through tax. Why is this not working? That's because it's weird. Hang on. That is very weird. Oh well. Production. JK, Jack, trade, Kelly, AD, Aaron, gold. Doesn't really matter because there aren't many gold provinces, but Jack is getting a little bit of gold over there. Tariffs, no one. That's stupid. Vassals, no one. How fees, subsidies, nothing over there, but these three, very important. There's also something else I wanted to look at, which is the province development. Just for a bit of more roleplay, more in-depth aspect of the game, to see that Kelly owns Constantinople, which is the highest development province in the world, and I think that's pretty cool. The city of World's Desire still is the city of World's Desire since 1741. Is that a pretty good streak? That from when would it have been? During maybe 600 or something. I mean, before that, Rome fell in 476, but it probably there's a lot of sort of barbaric tribes over here that probably wouldn't have gone. Well, Constantinople's nice. We could go there on holiday. They probably wouldn't have done that. No, to be fair, they probably wouldn't have done that in 600 either. But still pretty good 1,000 years that it's been one of the best cities in the world. And I think that wraps it up. Before I leave, I'm just going to say who I think is currently the winner, and I'm going to go a little bit with what I said earlier. I'm going to go with Connor here. He hasn't done particularly strong. The British Isles, some colonies, Caribbean, pretty kind of good. Not so much over in sort of Indonesia. Gets Japan, which is kind of pretty cool. Gets Mount Fuji, which is like over there, as well as Manchuria. But I've got to give it to him because he did take over, I believe. Who were these owned by? Lauren and Neve, and that is pretty cool. I'm really liking that. He also has a colony in South Africa as well. But the fact that he's basically the only nation to go over there and destroy them I'm liking that. I really do. And if I had to give a winner in India, I don't think I can say anybody else but Lydia. Just because look at this. This is a very beautiful empire. Just owns sort of the Bengal coast and just wraps around. Very good provinces these are. If we look at the development, I didn't check development in India, but I mean most of it is pretty rubbish. But they do own some pretty good provinces over here in whatever region this would be. Check the Burma region and the Bengal region. Very beautiful, very beautiful. But that basically wraps it up. Hope your vote is doing well, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the series. More to come. See you guys then.